You're 68 years old and can't even use email properly. You're fired." The young manager smirked as he handed the termination letter. The elderly engineer packed his desk quietly. 3 days later, Boeing called, "Where's Harold?" "We need his signature on the $50 million contract. He's the only one who understands our legacy systems." The manager's face went white. Welcome to Silent Courage Stories, where America's veterans and their silent heroes are never forgotten. Before we share this powerful story about sacrifice, understanding, and second chances, drop a comment below with your city. And if you believe every veteran's story deserves to be told, subscribe and help us keep their legacy alive. Precision Aerospace Solutions, Seattle, Washington. Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Open office plan, glass walls, modern furniture. The company was undergoing digital transformation. Harold Mitchell, 68 years old, 45-year aerospace engineer, sat at his desk. He was doing calculations with old-fashioned pen and paper. Around him, young engineers buried in laptops, coding away. The new manager, Tyler Richardson, 26 years old, Harvard MBA, 2 months at the company, the CEO's nephew, brought in to increase efficiency. Tyler approached Harold's desk. He had a folder in hand. "Harold, come to my office." Harold stood up, walked slowly. Arthritis in his knees. Tyler waited impatiently. In the office, Tyler went behind his desk, didn't gesture for Harold to sit. "Harold, I've reviewed your performance. You're too slow." "Sir?" "Look, it takes you 2 hours to respond to an email. You don't use digital systems, still pen and paper. Those calculations must be done by hand. CAD systems can't handle those tolerances." "Harold," Tyler cut him off, "you're 68 years old and can't use email properly. You're fired." He pushed an envelope across the desk, termination notice inside. Harold's face went white. "Mr. Richardson, I've been at this company 45 years. "That's exactly the problem. 45 years. Too long. We need fresh air," Tyler smirked. "Today's your last day. Security will help you pack your things." Harold stood up, his shoulders slumped. "The Boeing project, the young team will handle it. Don't worry." Harold quietly left the office, returned to his desk. 45 years of memories. Photos, awards, thank you letters from NASA. The young engineers were whispering. Harold got fired. Wow, the dinosaur finally gone. Tyler's cleaning house. Sarah Kim, 30 years old, newly graduated engineer, approached Harold. "Harold, I'm sorry." "It's okay, dear." I guess it was time, but Sarah was worried. "The Boeing systems, without you." Tyler says they'll handle it. Harold packed his things into boxes, original plans for the 747, first prototype calculations for the 777, all in his handwriting. Security arrived. "Mr. Mitchell, are you ready?" Harold nodded, left the building with his boxes after 45 years. Tyler sent an email to the entire company. "Team, we made an important change today. Harold Mitchell has left us. Our digital transformation will accelerate. Our efficiency will increase. We're looking to the future, not the past." Tyler young engineers applauded. Older employees were worried. Would they be fired too? 3 days later, Wednesday morning. Tyler's phone rang. It was the CEO, Robert Henderson. "Tyler, Boeing's calling. Urgent. What's up, Uncle?" "Conference room now." Tyler ran. In the room were the CEO, CFO, and 3 Boeing representatives. Boeing's chief engineer, Dr. James Porter, spoke. "Mr. Richardson, we're looking for Harold Mitchell." "Urgent." "Harold? He doesn't work with us anymore." "What do you mean, doesn't work?" "I fired him. He was inefficient." Dr. Porter's face turned red. "You fired him? You fired Harold Mitchell?" "Yes, he was too slow." "Are you an idiot? Dr. Porter was shouting. That man is the only person who knows the legacy systems for Boeing 747, 777, and 787. Tyler's face went white. Dr. Porter continued. We have a $50 million contract on the table. Modernization of old 747 cargo planes. Harold's the only one who understands the codes he wrote in 1978. CEO. Robert Henderson stood up. What? Those systems are entirely Harold's, handwritten codes, no documentation. We gave you this contract because he was with you, Tyler stammered. But the young team, your young team, Dr. Porter mocked. Do they know Fortran 77? Can they read assembly code? Can they calculate hexadecimal on paper? Silence. Harold can. Because he wrote those codes. The CFO intervened. $50 million. Contract canceled, said Dr. Porter. Can't do it without Harold. We'll go to Airbus. Wait, the CEO was begging. We'll bring Harold back. How? You fired the man, 68 years old, can't use email. Tyler's phone had been recording. The meeting. Someone leaked it. The video went viral. Young manager fires engineer, loses $50 million. Harold was at home, sitting in his garden. His phone rang. It was the CEO. Harold, this is Robert. Please come back. I was fired, Mr. Henderson. We made a mistake. Tyler made a mistake. Please. I can't use email. Tyler said so. Harold, the Boeing contract. I know. Dr. Porter called me. What did he say? He offered me a job at Airbus. The CEO's breath caught. What? They want me to move to Europe, consulting on legacy systems, $2 million a year. Harold, wait. I'll give you whatever you want. Mr. Henderson, I gave 45 years to your company. Your nephew threw it away in 3 minutes. I'll fire Tyler. The problem isn't Tyler. It's the mindset. Old, slow, outdated. You defined me with these words. Harold hung up. The next day, the board of directors held an emergency meeting. We lost $50 million. Because of Tyler. Without Harold, we'll lose the NASA contract too. NASA had indeed called. They needed Harold for the old space shuttle systems. Tyler entered the room, still confident. You're overreacting. We'll find another engineer. Board chair Margaret Chen stood up. Tyler, do you know who Harold is? An old engineer. That old engineer worked on Apollo 11's backup systems, wrote Space Shuttle Columbia's rescue protocols, has patents on half of Boeing systems. Tyler was silent. And you fired him because he couldn't use email. I didn't know. Of course you didn't know, because you didn't ask, didn't check his resume, just looked at his age. Margaret continued. Losses, Boeing, $50 million. NASA, $30 million. Lockheed, $40 million. Total $120 million because of one decision. Tyler's legs were shaking. You're fired, Tyler, and your uncle will resign. CEOs shouldn't practice nepotism. Robert Henderson lowered his head. You're right, Margaret. By the weekend, the company was on the brink of bankruptcy. Without Harold, they couldn't fulfill the contracts. Sarah Kim took courage, went to Harold's house. Harold, please, the company's dying. Harold looked sad. I know, Sarah. Come back. Tyler's gone. The CEO's gone. The problem isn't individuals, dear. It's culture. A culture that doesn't value age, experience. We value it. Young engineers want to learn from you, Harold thought, on one condition. What? Mentorship program. Every senior engineer paired with a young engineer. Knowledge transfer. Deal. Harold returned, but as a consultant. Hourly rate, $1,000. His first job was teaching Boeing systems to young engineers. Sarah was the most eager student. Look, Harold said, showing old codes. These hexadecimal values are actually coordinate systems. We used them before GPS. Young engineers listened, mesmerized. Why don't you use email? Someone asked. Harold smiled. I do use it, but some calculations look better on paper. The brain works differently when writing by hand. The Boeing contract was saved. NASA project completed. The company survived. Tyler Richardson couldn't find another job. Because of the viral video, nobody would hire the ageist manager. Finally reached out to Harold by email. Ironic. Mr. Mitchell, I'm sorry. I was ignorant, arrogant, didn't understand that age brings wisdom. Will you forgive me? Tyler, Harold replied, Tyler, everyone makes mistakes. What matters is learning. My advice, find an old engineer, let them mentor you. Listen, learn, be patient. I used email properly, by the way. Harold Tyler now volunteers IT support at a nursing home, teaching technology to the elderly, patiently, slowly. Harold Mitchell taught me life's most important lesson, he says. Speed isn't everything. Sometimes slow but right is better than fast but wrong. Precision Aerospace Solutions now has a new rule. Age is experience. Slowness is thoroughness. Old methods are foundation. And Harold's desk still stands. A plaque on it. Harold Mitchell, 45 years. Used email slowly. Saved company quickly. Every new hire sees this desk. And here's the story. Tyler's arrogance. Harold's patience. The $120 million lesson. Sarah Kim is now chief engineer. Harold's student. She has 2 computers in her office, one state-of-the-art, the other from the 1980s, running Fortran. Harold taught me, she says, learn new technology. But don't forget the old. Someday it'll save lives. When the new Boeing contract was signed, Dr. Porter gave a speech. In this industry, there are 2 types of knowledge, what you can find on Google, and what's in Harold Mitchell's head. The second is worth billions. Harold retired at 80, but still consults, still $1,000 an hour, still uses pen and paper, and nobody calls him slow anymore. They say careful, they say meticulous, they say master. And Tyler says the same thing in every speech. A company's most valuable asset isn't computers, isn't young brains. It's old and wise brains. Fire them. You fire your future. The story became a Harvard Business School case study. The Mitchell mistake, when digital transformation ignores institutional knowledge. Tyler was invited to speak at the study's launch. He stood before hundreds of MBA students, his former peers. I had an MBA from this very school, he said. I thought I knew everything about efficiency, modernization, digital transformation. But I didn't know the most important thing. Wisdom can't be downloaded. Experience can't be Googled. And sometimes the fastest way forward is to slow down and listen to those who've been there before. A student raised her hand. But how do we balance innovation with tradition? Tyler smiled sadly. You don't balance them. You blend them. Harold Mitchell now teaches our young engineers, but he also learns from them. He may calculate by hand, but he understands why we need computers. The tragedy isn't that he was old. The tragedy was that I was too young to see his value. Meanwhile, Harold established the Mitchell Foundation for Intergenerational Engineering. It pairs retired engineers with startups. These kids have brilliant ideas, Harold says, but they don't know what's been tried before. We old folks? We've seen everything fail at least once. We can save them time. One startup developing autonomous aircraft hit a wall. Their AI couldn't handle certain edge cases. Harold looked at their code for 5 minutes. This happened in 1987 with the 757's autopilot. Here's how we solved it. He sketched a solution on paper, old-fashioned pen. The startup's valuation jumped $50 million overnight. The founder, a 24-year-old MIT graduate, posted on LinkedIn. Today, a 70-year-old engineer solved in 5 minutes what my team couldn't crack in 6 months. He used a pen and paper. Maybe we need to redefine outdated. 5 years after the incident, Tyler and Harold met at an industry conference. Tyler was presenting on the hidden cost of ageism in tech. Harold was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. "Harold," Tyler said, "I never properly thanked you." "For what?" "For responding to my email. For forgiving me. For teaching me that wisdom has no expiration date." Harold shook his hand. "Tyler, you taught me something too." "What could I possibly have taught you?" "That even the worst mistakes can become the best lessons. Your firing me led to the mentorship program. Hundreds of young engineers now learn from us old-timers. Your mistake became a movement." Tyler's eyes welled up. "I cost the company $120 million. "No," Harold corrected. "You invested $120 million in a lesson, and the returns have been extraordinary. Indeed, Precision Aerospace Solutions was now the industry leader in knowledge preservation. Their mentorship program was copied worldwide. Their revenue had tripled." At the award ceremony, Harold spoke. "They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Maybe not, but an old dog can teach a young pup the tricks that matter, like patience, like precision, like the beauty of a hand-drawn blueprint that no computer can replicate." He looked at Tyler in the audience. "And sometimes it takes a young person's mistake to remind us old folks that we still have value, that we're not outdated. We're vintage, and vintage in aerospace means tested, proven, reliable." The standing ovation lasted 10 minutes. Today, Harold's portrait hangs in Precision Aerospace's lobby. Below it, his famous quote, "I may be slow with email, but I'm fast with solutions, because I've seen the problems before." And in the bathroom stalls, someone anonymously posts the same message monthly. Before you fire someone for being old, ask yourself, will Boeing call in 3 days looking for them? Tyler Richardson now runs a consulting firm, Bridging Generations Tech Solutions. He helps companies avoid the Mitchell mistake. His business card has an unusual tagline: "I fired a genius for using email slowly. Don't be me." And Harold, at 92, he still consults via email now. He learned to type faster, but he still solves the hardest problems with pen and paper. Because some things, wisdom, experience, intuition, can't be digitized. They can only be earned, one slow year at a time.